Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we are going to start with the 10th class chemistry and physics, where Unit 6 structure of atom is going to be discussed with the series number 9. Earlier, we completed series number 1 to 8. So, in that detailed explanation about what are the subatomic particles present in that and what are the theories which got instructed based on the structure of atom from earlier to contemporary theories of structure of atom were discussed, and also what are the quantum numbers with relevant to the properties of the given element. All those are discussed in previous series. In the series number 9, we are going to discuss what are the important regulations in order to fill the electronic configuration. Especially, we are focusing on the electronic configuration, filling of electrons in accordance with the different kind of protocols. Those are the things going to be discussed. By the series number 9, the entire chapter of unit 6 is going to be completed. Let us enter into our today's concept. Here, in continuation to our previous series, as you have observed in the case of street lights, sodium vapor lamps have yellow in color. Yellow color emitted by the sodium vapor lamps. This yellow light is compressed of very closely spaced doublets when analyzed using high resolution spectroscope. In general, line spectrum is emitted by the all metals. So based on this line spectrum only, here Bohr's model purely depends upon the line spectrum of given element. In the similar manner, this sodium also exhibiting the line spectrum. When we are increasing the resolution of the spectrum, what happens? You can find the doublet. Because of that doublet only, that used to give the yellow color light in this region. Now, we got one question. Why yellow color emitted by the sodium on heating? What could be the reason for that one? This is the general assumption we are already using, and we are already facing this one. But we are going to think why it will be happen. What could be the reason for that one? In order to get that, we have to remember sodium absorbs the radiation of 580 nanometers. Because of this distinct region of radiation absorption, it used to exhibit that yellow color. And the detailed explanation is provided here. This is the data collected from the Vedantu. Thank you very much. Sodium comes under the alkali metal. Being it is a S block element and alkali metal, only one electron is left in the outer shell. That is called a valency shell. And if it lost one electron, so that what happens? It used to attain the noble gas electronic configuration. So it always exhibits extremely low ionization energy value, so it tends to release one electron very easily. Due to that electron, radiations are being emitted by sodium metal. Light of yellow color is emitted. The radiation of emitted is an electromagnetic wave. The formula for the calculation of speed of light is equal to C is equal to what you can say lambda into nu. This C denotes what speed of the light. This is the constant, universal constant value. Lambda is the wavelength of light, which can be measured in different parameters. Nu is the frequency of the light, right? So this is the reason why sodium used to exhibit this yellow color, because it's a distinct characteristic absorption region lays in this region, 580 nanometers, so that it used to give the yellow color. So because of radiation of energy by this electron emission, right? So line spectrum of metals. So this is the point of consideration. Alkali and alkaline earth metals having tendency to lose the electrons. Alkali metals are mono-electron donors. Alkaline earth metals are bi-electron donors. So that they used to exhibit such kind of distinct line spectrums in this wavelength regions. So for sodium, it will be exhibited in this manner. For hydrogen atom, you can find such a kind of lines in its spectrum. Calcium able to exhibit these many lines in the different wavelength regions. Magnesium is also exhibiting line spectrum like this. Neon line spectrum will be appeared in this manner. So because of this reason, emission of electron, they are able to exhibit such a kind of line spectrum in the distinct wavelength region, so that you can identify these elements based on its spectral data. All right. So now, tricky question based on this concept only. How do electrons in the atom occupy the shells, subshells, and orbitals? Where you can accommodate these electrons? Already we know Nucleons are originated. Nucleons are placed in the central part, which are associated with protons and neutrons. And around that, electrons are traveling in their region. Rather than fixed paths, there is a cloud of electrons are present. Now there is another question. So how these electrons are occupying shells, subshells, and also orbitals? What are the differences between all these? Shells are nothing but different orbits, you can say. So orbits are nothing but first orbit comes. You can say that principal quantum number, that value may be 1, 2, 3, 4 in that manner. So first shell, second shell, third shell, fourth shell will be there. In each shell, all again you can classify into subshells also, because in case of first shell you can find only one s orbital, only one subshell will be there. In case of second main shell, it consists of 2s and 2p. So main shell is the second one, where subshells are 2s and 2p are the subshells. In that orbitals are s orbital and 3p orbitals are present. In this manner, you have to classify the shells, subshells, and orbitals where electrons are going to be occupied. Electrons are placed in these orbitals. Orbitals are present in subshells. These subshells are present in the main shells. This is about the order of arrangement of all these parameters which mentioned here. The distribution of electrons in shells, subshells, orbitals are known as an electronic configuration. Proper representation of these electrons, where they are accommodated, where they are placed, and how the filling is there, and what are the protocols to be followed, that entire phenomenon is given by electronic configuration. Simply, it is taken as a 1:1, that is for hydrogen atom. In case of hydrogen, you can say shell. Here shell denotes what? Main shell, that is given by the principal quantum number 1. And S denotes what? It's a subshell. Subshell is s orbital, and where electron is present in the orbital. Orbital where the electron probability is more, so that here how many electrons are present in hydrogen? Only one electron will be there. So number of electrons retained by the s orbital, and how many subshells? Only one subshell is there, and here the main shell will be 1. So this is about the representation of electronic configuration for hydrogen. If you go for helium, it will be 1:2. More one electron is present, that electron is also occupied in the same s subshell, right? So here electrons present in the orbital represented at the superscript, and s is the orbital, and 1 is the energy level in which we are filling the electron, and this is the element whose electronic configuration you are displaying here. This is about the electronic configuration fundamental. We have a detailed explanation about this electronic configuration and what are the protocols we have to follow in order to fill this electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is simply denoted as element describes how electrons are distributed in an atom, in an atomic orbitals. Electron configuration of atom follows standard notations. In order to fill, we have to follow certain rules, right? Standard notation in which all electron containing atomic subshells with the number of electrons they hold a written superscript are placed in the sequential manner of filling of electrons are present in these subshells. For example, if you go with sodium, sodium is a metal of this crystalline nature, and a shiny surface will be there. Always it will be stored in the kerosene, because when it stored in water, it catches the fire. That's why it is not preferable to store in water, and the contact with water is also not at all preferable. And when you consider its electronic configuration, it will be 1:2, 2:2, 2p6, and 3s1 will be there. 1, 2, 2, 3, these denotes what? Principal quantum number. And sp, these are the subshells where electrons are located. And this is said to be last orbital. Last subshells are said to be valency shell. In case of this one, third shell is the valency. Outer orbitals are said to be valency shell. And how the electrons are distributed, that is represented in the superscript manner. 1s is located with 2 electrons. 2s orbital, we have 2 electrons. 2p also occupied with 6 electrons, and 3s only 1 electron is there. This is called the distribution of electrons in all these subshells, right? So this is about the electronic configuration pattern. Now Electronic configuration. Let us first consider the simplest element called hydrogen, where only one electron is located and atomic mass is given by 1.008. So this is atomic number and this is atomic mass, right? So when you consider this hydrogen atom, which is the fundamental and the starting element in the entire periodic table, whose electronic configuration is represented in such a manner. So first we have to represent its a main shell called a principal quantum number, and a subshell, that is which orbital it is filled, and its number of electrons should be denoted as the superscript. Electrons are distributed in the subshell can be represented in the superscript. 1s1 denotes what? In 1s atomic orbital, we have only one electron, that is represented by 1 here, right? So it is it's a complete description is provided. So here it is 1s1 electronic configuration for hydrogen, being it is atomic number 1, it is indicated as 1, and atomic mass is given here, and a symbol of hydrogen. Hydrogen is represented with H. Electronic configuration is 1s1. Name of the element will be hydrogen. It will be in the form of hexagonal crystalline structure, and always it represented in a gaseous form. These dotted lines indicate a gaseous form it is, and atomic weight is represented as 1.008. Atomic mass units will be there. This is about the general representation of electronic configuration for the simplest element, hydrogen, containing only one electron, right? So now we have to follow general protocols in order to fill the electronic configuration. So general formula for the representation of electronic configuration will be, first we have to mention it's a principal energy level, that is a N value, and the letter L represents sub level where the electrons are going to be filled, that is L value, and the number X represent how many electrons are distributed in these sub levels called orbitals also. So always it should be a superscript. So generalized formula will be NLX. For hydrogen, N will be 1, L will be S, X will be 1 again, 1 electron will be there. So 1 is 1. Simply generalized like this, NLX. N denotes principal energy level, L denotes its a sub level, and X is the number of electrons present in that. N denotes the principal quantum number, indicates the main shell. L denotes the angular quantum number, indicates the subshell present in that. Even orbitals also indicated by this L level. And the superscript X denotes the distribution of electrons among the subshells. So this is the general representation. Apply the generalized formula for different elements. First, we are going to consider with hydrogen atom. Hydrogen, being it is a gas, always found in the nature, and it is not present in the nature in general. Always it is available in the form of combined state only. Hydrogen gas is not freely available anywhere. So for hydrogen, atomic number Z denoted as 1, and the number of electrons present in the hydrogen, only 1 electron will be there. Electronic configuration for the hydrogen is 1s1. So it is a generalized representation. Just now we discussed about how can we denote its electronic configuration. Main shell followed by subshell followed by superscript distribution of electrons. So this will be the electronic configuration of hydrogen in accordance with the generalized formula NL to the power X, right? Now we are going to write same kind of electronic configuration in the different way. So we do the things in a different manner so that electrons can be filled in the sub-level in this manner too. So here, let us apply all 4 quantum numbers to this hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom principal quantum number is given as 1 because in the first main shell electron is located. Being it is a s orbital, this is the spherical s orbital, always L value is taken as 0. If L value, angular quantum moment number value is 0, magnetic quantum moment number also becomes 0, right? Then ms, how many electrons are there? Only 1 electron is there. That electron occupies either positive or negative spin. That means moving either in the clockwise or anti-clockwise dimension of rotation, right? So here 1s1 configuration of hydrogen can be represented in this manner too, where 1s orbital consisting 1 electron, I am indicating with the upside spin. That means it is moving in the clockwise rotation.
So in this manner also electronic configuration can be represented. Along with this 1s superscript 1, you can write electrons in this subshells also, in these orbitals also. So this is another representation of electronic configuration. So this generalized formula can be extended to any other elements too. Just now we discussed about only one electron containing species. Now we are extending to more than one electron containing species. We are extending this formula to helium now. Helium composed of two electrons in its outermost electronic configuration. So Z value, atomic number is taken as 2 here. Now we have to follow. In order to fill the electrons, we have to follow, we have to obey the three principles. One is called a Pauli's exclusion law. Second is Aubert rule. Third is Hund's rule, right? To describe the electronic configuration, more than one electron. If one electron is there, it is very simple to locate. But more than one electron is there, in that case, we have to follow these three fundamental rules in order to fill the electrons. One is Pauli's exclusion principle, second is Aubert principle, third is Hund's rule. These are required to be followed. Let us go with one by one. Pauli's exclusion principle. It states that according to the Pauli's exclusion principle, two electrons of the same atom cannot have all four quantum numbers same. So four quantum numbers are equal is not at all possible at any case. So if you go with the 4-electron system, for example, 4-electron system, what it will be? Beryllium. I'm taking the example of beryllium, where 2 electrons are able to filled in this manner. And into a shell, filling of electrons in the parallel manner is not at all possible in accordance with this Pauli's exclusion. And the 2 electrons with this opposite spin and more 2 electrons with opposite spin, this will be the correct representation. And 2 electrons with opposite spin and these 2 electrons only with downward spin, this is also not possible. Only the possibility will be middle one for this beryllium, where 4 electrons are occupied, 4 electrons are accommodated, right? Okay, helium atom has 2 electrons. First electron occupy in the valence shell, second electron joins with valence shell only, and always it should be represented as a opposite spin. Always it should be represented as a opposite spin. One is moving in the clockwise, second electron is moving in the anti-clockwise rotation. Then what is the Pauli's exclusion principle in general? According to Pauli's exclusion principle, no 2 electrons are having equal number of 4 quantum numbers. 4 quantum numbers are not similar for any 2 electrons. That is the Pauli's exclusion principle. Now, let us apply for this helium, where 2 electrons are present. Helium electronic configuration is represented as, one is here electrons are filled in this manner. One is clockwise and either is anti-clockwise rotation. Now let us apply for quantum numbers. N value. What is the N value? Main shell. In which main shell it is there? Only first main shell it is there. L value. L is equal to 0. Means here S electron, S orbital only having electrons, so that L value will become 0. Then what is M? Magnetic quantum moment. It's a magnetic quantum moment number also becomes 0. Being L is 0, M also becomes 0, because always M value derived from L only. Right. So here N, L, M, these 3 values are equal for 2 electrons. But what is the principle here? The principle gives that no 2 electrons are having 4 quantum numbers equal. So 3 quantum numbers are exactly equal. N is equal to 1. L is equal to 0, M also 0. So these 3 values are equal for 2 electrons. Then where is the difference? Only the difference is at a spin quantum number. Ms value is different. Why Ms value is different? Because one of the electron is inclined in the clockwise manner, clockwise dimension of rotation. Second electron is in anti-clockwise rotation. That's the reason why one electron is accompanied by plus half. Second electron is accompanied by minus half of spin. That's the reason why this is the contradictory. This is the converse of that. So here being 3 quantum numbers are equal, but fourth quantum number is deviated, so that it is obeying Pauli's exclusion principle, right? So in this manner, Pauli's exclusion principle is simply explained with the helium. The major consequence of exclusion principle involves the orbital occupancy. How can we fill the electron? That is simply explained by this Pauli's exclusion. Since only 2 values of MS are allowed, orbital can hold only 2 electrons. Based on this statement, what you can confirm? One orbital maximum capacity will be 2 electrons. It is not possible to accommodate more 1 electron. It is not possible to complete with only 1 electron. The maximum capacity of the orbital will be 2 electrons, right? So that is the consequence of the Pauli's exclusion principle. And they must have the opposite spin. One should be in the clockwise and either should be in the anti-clockwise. Then only it will be allowed. Hence, the helium electronic configuration is concluded as like this, right? So this is the reasonable question to get the wise answer. So here, this is a consequence of Pauli's exclusion principle. Now, let us move on to second protocol in order to fill the electronic configuration called Auber principle. Auber principle states that our ground state atom electron fill atomic number of the lowest available energy before occupying higher energy level. So here, electrons are filled in increasing energy order is the correct definition for the Auber principle. That is nothing but if we are having 2 possibilities, 1s and 2s, 2 orbitals are given to us. First 1s orbital will be filled, then only electron enters into 2s orbital. So in the increasing order of energy, electron should be filled. That is called the Auber principle. First ground state level will be filled and the next level energy, higher energy will be filled in the next level. So that is clearly explained in the hydrogen. When hydrogen considered, 1 electron will be there. This electron will not go into 2s. Always it will go into 1s because 1s is the lower energy level. Even for helium, electron will go into 1s only rather than 2s because always maximum occupancy of orbital will be 2. So that's why again for helium also electron will be go to 1s orbital. Now in case of lithium being it is atomic number 3, a third electron will enter into 2s. Third electron will enter into 2s because next level for 1s will be 2s only. This is an increasing order of filling of electrons. That is the guidelines given by this Auber principle. Auber principle, in order to fill Auber principle, maximum number of electrons in a shell is given by 2n square formula. In the case of 2n square formula, if you apply for K shell, K is the first shell where 2 electrons is the maximum because 2 into 1, because K shell is nothing but n value will be 1. 2 into 1 to the power 2. 1 square is nothing but 1 only. 2 into 1 is nothing but 2 only. So that here in accordance with 2n square, so filling of electrons in the main shell mainly follows the empirical formula 2n to the power 2. For K shell, maximum possibility will be 2. Sub-orbitals will be only 1 orbital because first shell, 1s orbital, only 1 orbital will be there. Maximum capacity will be 2 only. When you move on to L shell composed of 2s, 2p, 2 orbitals will be there. Then being it is n value is 2. 2 into 2 square. 2 square means 4. 4 into 2. Total possibility of main shell electrons are 8 here. L shell accompanied with the 8 maximum electrons. These 8 electrons are distributed in such a way S orbital 2 electrons, P orbital 6 electrons will be there. So that total 8 electrons are possible. So for L shell, S orbital 2, that means 2s2, 2p6. So this is the maximum possibility of distribution in the different subshells. This is the main shell occupancy. These are the subshell occupancies of electrons. When you move on to M shell consists of, M is nothing but n is equal to 3. N is equal to 3 means 3s, 3p, 3d. So 3 subshells will be there. S orbital occupancy will be 2, p orbital occupancy will be 6, d orbital occupancy will be 10, right? Let us apply 2n square formula. Being n is equal to 3, 3 square means 9, 9 into 2, 18. So here maximum occupancy of main shell will be 18. And the subshell distribution will be like this: s orbital 2, p orbital 6, d orbital 10 will be there. This is about M shell. Now let us move on to N shell. N shell consists of principal quantum number 4. 4 square, 16. 16 into 2, 32. So maximum electrons filled in this N shell will be 32. This main shell N consists of 32 electrons, and the distribution in subshells will be s orbital 2, p orbital 6, d orbital 10, f orbital 14 occupancy will be there. This is in accordance with the formula 2 to the power 2 into n to the power 2. So it is obeying Auber principle. We are filling electrons in the increasing order of their energy. Right. Now, Auber principle, we are going to apply some terms and conditions. Based on these rules only, we are going to obey the filling of electrons for this electronic configuration. One more formula is given for these subshells SPDF. 2 into 2 into L plus 1 formula can be employed. Then only here L is equal to 2. Let us apply L is equal to 2. For example, if L value is 0, sorry, L is equal to 0 when considered 2 into 0 plus 1. 2 into 0 will become 0, right? 0 plus 1 will become 1. 1 into 2 will become 2. So here, when we apply this filling of electrons in the subshell, main shell, what is the formula? 2n to the power 2 is the formula. For subshell, the formula will be 2 into 2l plus 1 is the formula in order to fill the subshells. So when L is equal to 0, the maximum possibility of electrons are 2. L is equal to 1. 2 into 1 plus 1. 2 into 1, 2, plus 1, 3, 3 into 2, 6. So here, so if L is equal to 1, the maximum possibility of electrons are 6. When you go with L is equal to 2, means d orbital. For d orbital, how many electrons? Let us see. L value is 2, right? 2 into 2, it will be 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 into 2, 10. So here, maximum d orbitals will accompany with the 10 electrons. Let us move on to L is equal to 3, means f orbital, right? F orbital 3, L is equal to 3 employed here. 2 into 3, it will be 6. 6 plus 1, 7. 7 into 2, 14. 14 electrons. One f orbital accommodate 14 electrons in that. This is about the formula for filling electrons in subshells. The formula will be 2 into 2l plus 1. It can be given, question may be given in such a manner. The maximum number of electrons in the subshell is given by the expression. So here what we mentioned, 2 into 2l plus 1. But here 2 into 2l plus 1 formula is not given. Then how can we answer? This is a tricky question. We have to answer like this. We have to expand. 2 into 2, 4l plus 2 into 1, 1. 2 into 1, 2. 4l plus 2. 4l plus 2 available in the second option, right? So that second option is the correct one. So in this way, question may be given in the tricky way also. You have to go with all possibilities of this concept what we are studying, right? So got this answer. 2 into 2l plus 1 can be represented as 4l plus 2 also, because it is the simplified form. Here it is the expanded one. So in this way, Auber principle can be employed based on these two rules. One is main shell will be given with 2n square. Subshell will be given with 2 into 2l plus 1 formula. These two rules should be applied in order to obey Auber principle. Now, Auber principle, in one more consideration is there here, n plus L value. So just now we discussed that lower energy will be filled first, later higher energy will be filled. How can we denote lower energy, higher energy? That is based on n plus L value. N is the principal quantum number, L is the angular momentum quantum number. Based on these terms, you can fill the orbitals, you can fill the electrons. I am taking example one is what is the n plus L value? For 1, n value is 1 only, L value is 0 only, right? Because L is nothing but suborbital. Subshell, what is that? S orbital. S orbital always L is equal to 0. So 1 plus 0, it will be 1 only. So n plus L value is 1. That means very lowest energy state it is. When you move on to 2s, let us apply n plus L value. N is equal to 2, L is equal to 0, means 2. Among 1s and 2s, where n plus L value is lower, For 1s orbital, n plus l value is lower. For 2s orbital, n plus l value is higher. That's why always lower energy state will be filled first. So 1s orbital is preferentially filled. Later, the electron enters into higher energy level. So this is the guideline we have to follow in order to obey the above principle. And the next is about for the subshell, the same value of n plus l. If n plus l value are both are equal, then electron first assigned with a lower n value. So first assigned with lower n value. So these are the protocols we have to follow for above principle. Now, the most important guideline given by Haber principle, that is the Moeller chart, ascending order of filling electrons, how increasing order of filling electrons are given. In order to get that, we have to draw the chart. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f, 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, 6s, 6p, 6d, 6f can be written, 7s, 7p, 8s. So how we are moving? We are moving in this direction so that electrons are filled in this manner. First 1s orbital filled, next to 2s, next to 2p, 3s. After 3s, electron entered into 3p. After 3p, electron not going to 3d, rather it will move on to 4s. So that is the Moeller diagram. If you remember the Moeller diagram, whatever the element, you can fill the electrons. So a total periodic table electronic configuration you can draw based on this Moeller diagram. So these energy levels are simply represented in the ascending order of filling electrons. That is nothing but Auber principle. First energy level will be, that means the lowest energy level will be 1s, followed by 2s, followed by 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, this is 5s, 4d, 5p. So this is about the increasing order of different orbital energy levels, which simply represented by Moeller chart. So this Moeller chart is drawn based on increasing order of energy levels. Very simple to draw, very simple to understand. Based on this Moeller diagram only, you can fill the electrons. These are the levels called different principal quantum numbers. These are the levels called different angular quantum momentum numbers, subshells. Main shells, subshells are represented in such a manner, filling of electrons in the increasing energy. Increasing energy order is also mentioned here, right? And this is about another representation. Same orbitals are represented in the different manner also. First 1s orbital filled, next 2s orbital, next 2p orbital, next 3s orbital, next 3p, followed by 4s. After filling 4s, you have to enter into 3d. So this is the thing which is given by this Moeller chart, right? So again, we represented increasing order of filling of electrons, orbital representation. What is the ascending order provided in this Moeller chart? Same will be represented in the different manner, right? So this is for Auber principle. Now, in extension to Auber principle, we are going to fill the electrons for various elements having more than one electron. For hydrogen, 1s1 will be there. Helium, 1s2 will be there. For lithium, third electron, where it should go? It should go to 2s, because after filling 2s, after filling 1s, electron enters into 2s, right? That's why electron enters into 2s, 1 it will be. Beryllium, more 1 electron added, so the 2s2 it will become boron. So 2s filled completely. Now for boron, the electron enters into next level, that is 2p level. So it will become 2p1. For carbon, where it should go? 2p2, because maximum capacity of p orbital will be 6. That's the reason why the second electron also entered into p orbital only. This is about the filling of orbitals in accordance with the Auber principle, which is exactly in accordance with the Moeller chart also, right? So this is another representation. This is about the electronic configuration. We can represent in orbital subshell form also. This is somewhat expanded and more, what we can say, more detailed description of electronic configuration. 1s shell having 2 electrons, 2s shell having 2 electrons, 2p shell having 1 electron for boron. Hydrogen having only 1 electron, that is residing in 1s orbital. Helium with the 2 electrons in the same 1s orbital. For lithium, we have to move on to 2s orbital, 1 electron will be added. For beryllium, more 1 electron will be added to 2s itself. For boron, so that fifth electron enters into 2p level. This is in accordance with increasing order of energy. So many electron system will be filled in this manner. And Auber principle can be employed even for carbon. In general, carbon is composed of atomic number 6. 6 electrons will be present in this. All 6 electrons are occupied in such a manner: 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, 2p2. It is not preferable to fill this second electron in the same 2px, because that is violating the Hunse formula. We will discuss Hunse formula just after this Auber principle. So electron should be taken into px and py separately rather than 2 electrons in the px itself. By giving extra energy, this 2s electron also occupying this 2p orbital, this is said to be ground level, and this is said to be excited level by gaining energy. But in general, we have to go with the electronic configuration of ground level only, right? So this is about the electronic configuration of carbon: 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Now, let us apply Hunse formula to this carbon. In order to fill the electrons in this carbon, we have the ambiguity. What is the ambiguity? So coming electron, that means second electron will move on to px or py, and why it will be going to py rather than px. And we have a detailed explanation for that by this Hund's rule. In accordance with Hund's rule, this explains that only electrons are going to be filled, all the available empty orbitals of same energy are singly occupied, then only pairing of electrons are possible. All 3 orbitals are said to be equal energy, called a degenerated in nature. So that we have to go on to first electron in first orbital, second electron into second orbital, rather than 2 electrons in the single orbital, because all 3 orbitals are equal energy, right? That's why 2 electrons should be occupied in this manner, singly occupied first. So third electron when comes, it will go on to this level, this empty orbital. When fourth electron is coming, then it will be paired. That is the main motto of this Hund's rule. Hund's rule states that pairing of electrons are not possible until similar energy orbitals are singly occupied first. First, they should be singly occupied. Later, we have to go for the filling of electrons in that manner. Being carbon atomic number 6, atomic mass will be given as a 12, and allotropic forms. So many allotropic forms are available for carbon. Amorphous form will be graphite, you can say even coal, and crystalline form will be a graphite. This is the extra information we are discussing in accordance with this carbon. Hund's rule is nothing but degenerated orbitals when present, all the orbitals should be singly occupied, then only filling will be possible, right? So unpaired electron should be present here in the 2p shell. So this is in accordance with the Hund's rule. Now, activity. So this is the activity time where we have to fill the electrons from carbon to calcium. Carbon atomic number will be 6. How can we fill the electrons? 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 will be there. P orbital maximum occupancy will be 6. It can be represented as a noble gas configuration. With reference to noble gas configuration also, you can simplify the electronic configuration. Always need not to write this completely filled shell, that is a helium configuration. So 1s2 is the helium shell configuration. That's why you can replace 1s2 with the helium. And remaining valency shell configuration can be written as 2s2, 2p2. For nitrogen, atomic number will be 7. How many electrons are there? 7. Now 7 electrons will be filled 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 will be there. So just you can replace 1s2 with helium, being it is a helium electronic configuration. Valency will be 2s2, 2p3. Oxygen, more 1 electron is added, 8 atomic number, so that it will become 2p4. Here also 2p4 you can add. For fluorine, more 1 electron, 2p5. 2p5 can be taken. Neon, being it is a noble gas, completely filled will be there. Means p orbital maximum occupancy is 6, right? So that here we have 2s2, 2p6. It is completely filled. You can say it is a noble gas. Okay, so here also it is represented as a noble gas configuration. Sodium, atomic number 11. 11 electrons are there. Now, new electron will find a new shell here. 3s1 electron will be there. So this entire 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 will become neon electronic configuration. So that you can write neon 3s1. because neon is completely filled. Need not to write the entire 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 always, because this is neon, that is the standard one. So that you can write neon followed by 3s1. For magnesium, more one electron, 3s2. Aluminium, 13, 3p1. Silicon, 14, 3p2. Phosphorus, 15, 3p3. Sulfur, 16, 3p4. Chlorine, 17, 3p5. Argon, again it is a noble gas because p orbital maximum occupancy is 6, right? So here electrons are going to be completely filled again. 3s2 3p6 means a stable electronic configuration, completely filled electronic configuration. Now potassium, it should find the new shell to fill the electron. Where the new shell will be there? Here 4s, it will go to 4s1 level in accordance with the Auber principle. After 3p, electron will enter into 4s rather than 3d. So this is purely explained based on Auber principle. Euler diagram will show this. So here 19th electron will enter into 4s1. So here argon configuration will be written and 4s1 will be there. Calcium atomic number 20, number of electrons also 20. So here that last electron will enter into this 4s2. Argon 4s2 is the electronic configuration of calcium. So this is about the entire electronic configuration system of elements started from carbon to calcium. This is the data collected from Learn CBSE forum. By this entire chapter of this unit 6 structure of atom got completed. So total 9 series are there, detailed explanation available on the channel called World of Competitive Chemistry. I hope this session will be helpful for your preparation. Thank you very much for your consistent listening. Thank you one and all.